Hi everybody, this is Carl Legere. My position paper is on differentiation in instructional design. The ultimate goal of each and every educator should be to provide unique educational experiences which enrich the lives of students in a way that promotes lifelong learning. Making a positive impact on a student that enables them to see their own potential, to make positive choices, to gain interest in furthering their own learning, both inside and outside of the classroom, is part of the teacher's mandate. With the advent of technology in the classroom comes an important question. How do educators make learning in a virtual world authentic and offer students a differentiated learning experience through the means of online courses in the K-12 learning environment? Instructional design lies at the heart of quality online learning, which in turn has a direct link to differentiated instruction. Differentiated instruction is student-aware teaching. It is guided by the premise that schools should maximize student potential, not simply bring students to an externally established norm on a test. To grow as much and as rapidly as possible, students must not only learn essential content, but also increasingly take charge of their own lives as learners. Tomlinson, 2008. The four elements of differentiated learning applicable to instructional design. In her article titled The Goals of Differentiation, Tomlinson suggests that there are four elements that help students take charge of their own learning and thus take charge of their lives: trust, fit, voice, and awareness. Trust is developed when students believe that they are working together with their teacher and being supported. Tomlinson states that designing online learning activities in which teachers and students interact as much as possible to build trust, where teachers regularly interact with and support their students through the use of forums, emails, Skype, and phone calls. Fit means to provide students with learning opportunities that are within their grasp, not too easy, yet not beyond what they are able to accomplish. Again, Tomlinson describes it as providing multiple means of learning, where information is presented in a variety of formats and at different levels of difficulty, to provide students with a tailored learning experience that fits their abilities and learning styles. Voice is developed when students are encouraged to respond, to support their ideas and others. Giving students opportunities to express their ideas and communicate openly, not only about their learning, but also about their learning experiences, giving them a voice that empowers them to be confident and affect positive change in their lives and the lives of others. Awareness implies that students know their strengths and how to use them to work around their weaknesses. Building self-awareness in students so that they recognize their strengths and weaknesses and learn to use their strengths in order to overcome their weaknesses, in turn making them aware of what they are truly capable of accomplishing through effort and commitment to learning. Building student identity. Tomlinson concludes with the need of differentiating learning to build student identity. As students come to trust that process, they develop the power and agency they need to become intellectual beings and thus to own the process of learning. Tomlinson, 2008. This statement can clearly translate to online learning and the need for implementing differentiated learning practices in a virtual environment if students are to be successful learners in this environment, and show evidence of not only learning the prescribed curriculum, but that they are also growing as independent learners. Blended learning and differentiated instruction. Blended learning may offer the best of both worlds, face-to-face classroom instruction and online learning activities. In providing a diverse group of students with differentiated instruction in order to meet the diverse needs of a class. However, the statement relies strongly on one key factor, the teacher. In a study that focuses on instructors' views of differentiated instruction in a blended learning environment in higher education, Bolins, Vogt, and De Wever imply through their findings that professional support focusing on the instructor's beliefs is of crucial importance to unlock blended learning's full potential. As such, it is important for organizations to develop a clear stance on this issue, which pays explicit attention to responding to learners' needs in blended learning contexts. Bolins, Vogt, and De Wever, 2017. Although the context of this study resides in higher education, the underlying principles that are within can apply to K-12 education. This idea is elicited from the fact that the instructor will always play a central role in students' learning of content. Bolins, Vogt, and De Wever, 2017. Effectively applied principles of instructional design and differentiation of learning are essentially decided upon by the teacher. In effect, without these elements, there can be no diversity in how instructional content is given or how students' acquired knowledge is communicated. Teachers who are designing blended learning environments need to be aware of current trends in differentiating instruction. Students must be provided with different entry points of accessible learning at their level in order to be successful. Assessment activities should account for differences in how students can best communicate their acquired knowledge and skills, making use of more than just online quizzes and papers for assessment. Discussion forums, audio-video productions, group assignments, and video conferencing are but a few of the assessment tools that are required to ensure that differentiated learning can take place in an online environment. Opportunities for students to actively participate in their learning need to be prioritized. Collaborative group work and discussion forums are two methods that have earned merit. In their study, investigating the relationships among instructional strategies and learning styles in online environments, Akdemir and Kozalka support this idea by stating, working together on instructional projects provides peers with different perspectives and opportunities to investigate subject matter at varying levels, justify and defend their ideas, and build deeper knowledge. Collaborative and group work instructional strategies in online learning require individuals, often at various levels, to work together to achieve a common goal. Individuals are prompted to analyze, synthesize, evaluate, and share their ideas collaboratively through virtual communication tools like email, discussion boards, or live chats. Akdemir and Kozalka, 2008. In differentiation, there is room for collaboration as peers can learn as much from one another as they can from direct instruction from the teacher. Students need to learn how to work together in an environment that guides them in being successful if they are in turn striving towards becoming successful adults in the future. Decision made. Through Parsons and DeLucia's decision making in the process of differentiation, the role of technology in differentiating instruction and student achievement becomes evident. There are two main factors that are of great influence. Information technology literacy is now part of the skill set students will need to be successful, bringing with it a responsibility for educators to expose students to a wide variety of tools. Parsons and DeLucia, 2005. Teachers and instructional designers must embrace the use of technology and aptly apply it to have a positive effect on student achievement. Again, Parsons and DeLucia, 2005. Influential decisions. How technology plays out in the classroom and how it affects student achievement ultimately relies on the teacher's decision on how it is used by themselves to support their learning process. and how it is to be used by students as a tool to demonstrate what they have learned. Parsons and DeLucia discuss how the power of technology can be used for data collection and subsequently influence the decisions that educators make to steer students' learning and achievements. Common technologies are available to educators that can streamline the process involved in managing a differentiated classroom environment. Parsons and DeLucia, 2005. Common technologies. These common technologies include online survey tools, which can be used to collect data on students' interests and to administer quizzes and quick check-ins. Student response systems are on the list, but are less utilized in today's classrooms than they were in the early 2000s. However, they can still be a valuable resource when internet access and computer access, for that matter, are limited commodities. A variety of online tools for assessment can now be easily adopted by educators and instructional designers. Moodle, Brightspace, LearnFlex, and Canvas are learning management systems that may be of choice, but they also come with a price tag. Educators who want to develop some of their own courses in a blended learning environment or possibly completely online could creatively use the tools that are currently available in G Suite for Education, currently used in schools across Nova Scotia. Microsoft Office 365, which is in its second year across all government establishments in New Brunswick, is another viable option. These tools offer the ability to manage learner content, administer assessment through online forms, and offer group spaces where students can gather to discuss current assignments. In the hands of an educator who has a working knowledge of instructional design principles, G Suite and Office 365 can be an indispensable asset in providing differentiated instruction through careful instructional design. Differentiated instruction is the approach to education adopted by the teacher. Technology is the tool that allows them to be successful. Parsons and DeLucia, 2005. The impact of online teaching. Foundational evidence that online learning can be indeed a positive foundational cornerstone of differentiated instruction is further discussed in A Synthesis of New Research on K-12 Online Learning by Smith, Clark, and Blomeyer, 2005. The authors draw attention to a survey research conducted by Susan Lowe's Institute of Learning Technologies at the Teachers College of Columbia University. The survey research focused on questions that brought to light the changes that teachers recognized in their own face-to-face teaching after having taught online. In their summary of the study conducted by Lowe's, the authors brought forth the following points. 74% of the survey respondents said that becoming an online teacher changed the way they teach. 75% of survey respondents reported that teaching online had had a positive impact on their face-to-face teaching. Smith, Clark, and Blomeyer, 2005. Teachers generally reported that after teaching online, their practice supported increased student participation in classroom learning, greater emphasis on independent learning, more effective use of questioning strategies, and more reliance on learning strategies utilizing metacognition and reflection. Smith, Clark, and Blomeyer, 2005. Teachers reported an expanding range of available course options, students receiving an expanded range of technology-mediated and online learning experiences, noticeable increases in independent or self-directed learning among participating students, and increased sharing of ideas and knowledge building among students. Smith, Clark, and Blomeyer, 2005. Recognizing positive change in students' participation, independent learning, and reflection on learning, and in teachers' everyday classroom activities is in effect showing evidence that online learning has its merits. In conclusion, the positive effects of well-designed online learning environments that engage students in the learning process can extend their benefits to more than just students, but also to teachers. Any practice that has such positive effects on both the students and educators is worth further investigation. It is therefore believable that in today's world of overextended curriculums and diversity of learners, the inherent strategies that can be co-constructed within differentiated instruction, online learning, and instructional design can merge to the benefit of the entire educational system. And in conclusion, what is the balance of pedagogical theory, instructional design practices, and online learning that will lead students into a new era of education? As they leave the high school halls after graduation, they need to be ready to continue their learning throughout life. May they be in college, university, trade school, or work. Learning does not stop, and the internet does not sleep. So why should current educators not provide students with every opportunity to learn and in a manner that is conducive to each individual in the age of technology? Thank you.